Hey, this is Marvelyn Brown with In a Word Business Services. Today we're going to go over the hobby skills and interest inventory. Now, this is a really important thing to do. If you have not selected a product or an opportunity to promote, if you're just starting out, or even if you've selected a product, I still want you to go through this inventory because we're going to drill down on the information that you provide in this inventory. Now, just to give you a little backstory about me, I worked in the IT department. And so I've always kind of worked in technical areas, even though I'm not a programmer, I'm not a coder, I'm not super techy, but I have worked in the industry for a number of years. So I did things more on the analysis side. And so that kind of taught me to think in a certain way. So the way that I approach my online business is from a systems perspective. So when I think about my online business, I start out with a process. And so this is a process that I think will be very beneficial to you when it comes to building a successful online business. No one wants to build a business that they hate working. That's kind of the same scenario that a lot of us have that brought us to, starting an online business. We hate our jobs. We hate what we do. We may even have a degree in or technical training in the job that we're doing now, but for whatever reason, we just don't like it. So I want you to start out with you. What are your hobbies? What are your interests? What are the things that you are going to love doing every single day? Because that's going to be the end goal for your online business. You're going to be doing this on a daily basis. So let's take a look at this skills inventory. Now, I tried to make this as simple as possible. It's 5 questions. These are very important questions that you want to ask, in the beginning, or at least as close to the beginning as possible. I know that a lot of you may have already started an online business, but the other great thing about having an online business is that you can always change or modify, as needed. So let's go ahead and go through this inventory. So the first thing you want to do is you want to check 3 areas that interest you the most. So whether it's cooking or travel or photography, are you good at planning and organizing? And these are the things that, I want you to think about your interests. And I also want you to think about what you feel really empowered and comfortable in doing. Now, you're not always going to be able to, be in your comfort zone when learning to build an online business. But in the long run, and we're thinking long term here, you want to pursue something that you're interested in. So take a look at all of these areas and just, check off 3 of the areas that interest you the most. Maybe all of these areas interest you, but I only want you to check off 3. Now, if your interest is not listed here, there's a space for other. So you can write in, your interest there. Number 2, what skills have you obtained from a job, life experiences, or volunteer work that would help you run a business in the area that you checked in number 1? So if you checked off cooking, if you checked off finances, if you checked off drawing and illustration, just list a few of the skills and the number of years of experience you have in those areas. Now, you may not have any experience in these areas, but if these are things that interest you, then you are going to get the years of experience. You'll learn the skills. And so I don't want you to be limited if you don't have skills in the areas that you're interested in, because we can always learn new skills. We can always get more experience. So just if you have some generalized, there are a lot of transferable skills, things like management, things like organizing. Maybe you're good at details, just the fine details of whatever it is that you're working on. That's a skill. That's something that you've learned. Just like I talked about, the fact that I worked in, analyzing things helped my brain to kind of work in a certain way. It kind of helped it to grow in a certain way so that now I kind of, sometimes it's not a good thing. Sometimes I get stuck in analysis paralysis. However, if you've done something over the long term throughout your life that has really prepared you to run a business listed here, whether it's, something formal or something informal. And then number 3, what industries have you worked in or volunteered in? So maybe, you have volunteered. Maybe you volunteered at a hospital, or maybe you volunteered working with children or with older people. If you volunteered, that experience is just as important as the experience that you may have gotten on a paying 9-to-5 job. So list the industries that you've worked in. Number 4, if you knew that you could be successful in reaching your financial goals doing something you enjoy, what would it be? And this is a really important question as well, because a lot of times we choose our profession, we choose our path in life based on how much money something will pay. And, I've seen this happen over and over again. And actually, it happened in my case as well, where, you're making tons of money. You love your, your lifestyle, but you hate what you're doing. Or, you kind of have a dislike for what you're doing. So you've gone down this path, you've prepared with your education or your training, and then you get into something and you find that it's not really what you thought it was. So if, taking away all of the incentives that money might bring, in your heart of hearts, what is something that you've always wanted to do that if you could make money, if you could be successful in reaching your financial goals, what would it be? And then number 5, is there something you're always being complimented on? A lot of times we're complimented on the things that we are amazing at, and we don't take those compliments as evidence, I guess. We don't take compliments well. Sometimes they just kind of go over our heads, and we don't take years and years of receiving compliments or being asked to do certain things as a strong point. We just kind of, let it go. And so if you've been recognized at work, maybe you've won awards, maybe you've received honorable mention, or maybe you've won competitions or kudos for, your hobbies or your interests or, work that you've done. Maybe your family, is always raving about things like your cooking, or you're constantly being asked to organize family or work events. I want you to write those things down as well, because those are the things that we don't even think about ourselves, but people from the outside, see that we have this ability that we are maybe not pursuing. So now those are the 5 questions. Now, number 6, I want you to take all of this information from questions 1 through 5 and write a short paragraph about the kind of online business you would like to run from home. Now, this really short exercise will be the foundation that we're going to work on going forward. So thank you for, going through this exercise with me, and I hope that it will help you to kind of think about some things that, interest you, things that you might not have thought about in terms of picking a product, picking an opportunity that actually goes with the things that you are interested in. So I'm going to close out for now. Thank you for watching this video, and I will see you on the next video. Have a great day.